Hello Guardians, it is Ebontis, and today's Legend Lost Sector is the Empty Tank. Fallen Lost Sector, we've got Barrier, which are going to be Servitors, Overload, which are Captains. Your burn is going to be solar damage, so definitely bring something to take advantage of that. And the one shielded enemy is this random Captain. It's got an arc shield on him. That's the only one. You almost don't have to worry about him. So, let's cover some options. I'm going to go Scout Rifle. Normally, I would say Scout Rifle Auto, pretty interchangeable. On this one, there's just enough guys in this opening room and a few snipers that you might want to deal with. Just probably go Scout. It's going to be easier, a little more manageable. I've got my Night Watch, nothing crazy. Just go with, honestly, a Scout Rifle. You'll be better off. Hand Cannon for Overload, pretty much always going to run that one. I got a basic Hand Cannon here, Subsistence, Dragonfly. Whatever you're running, turn on Major Spec. That will at least help you with damage against the champions. That's an important piece. Now, I'm going to do this with a Junk Machine Gun. Machine guns need a buff. We all probably can agree on that in PvE, and yet I'm still going to try and do that with this thing. Managed it last time. The boss is probably the most annoying part, but, you know, if I can do that with this thing, if you guys have a solar rocket launcher, if you want to use Lament and just absolutely crush things, proximity might be a thing you got to mess with, but again, Lament's still going to be powerful. Xenophage is going to be fantastic in here. If you've got some solar stuff, go for it. I'm using this for the one arc shielded enemy in here. In the grand scheme of things, you could probably just power through it with your heavy weapon. Not a big deal. And then you could use anything else. You know, any other hand cannon, at least probably here. Totally up to you. I'm just going to use this basic one. As my arc is covered, and, you know, it's hardly even required, I'm definitely using a solar subclass. I'm not using my super, as I typically don't for you guys, so you don't have to depend on it. There's definitely a place I'll call out where it's probably good to use it in the final room once everything kind of opens up. Make sure you got your reserves, your ammo finder, all of those things on. And then whatever type you're running, energy slot on your chest armor, make sure you go resistance there as well. Always an important piece. Give you a little reserve, you know, damage resistance. It may not all be arc and it may not all be everything, but in here, solar would be the best thing against the boss. Backup, since there's a lot of fallen, arc is a pretty good go-to. If you're not running a rocket launcher, go Sundering Blast. And if anything tends to explode for you, you could also use Energy Accelerant. Totally up to you. If you're going to use Arc for Overload, you can use this here as well. So you've got a couple options. Definite big thing is make sure you've got what you can have covered. Don't waste stats either. You may as well have the most possible. Hey, 100 on Intellect. All right, let's jump inside. All right, so when you start, first thing you're going to be dealing with is an Overload Captain. You want your heavy and your grenade basically to be ready. He's literally right around this corner, so you just got to be fast. 3 quick shots. The nice Sundering Blast will help. Throw a grenade on him, and if you kill him fast enough, the machine gun will finish him off. Anything else? Grenade launcher, rocket launcher is probably going to be good. Rocket launcher may not kill, but between Sundering Blast, rocket launcher, and, you know, you're getting right back, you know, maybe throw a grenade out there. Get back on your overload weapon, but you should be good to go. All right, here's where you're going to want the Scout Rifle. You've got your Vandal. You've got a lot of Vandals out there. You can start with this guy. Unfortunately, sorry, DJ, you're going first. And from here, just start picking things off. You got a lot of Vandals out there, so really work the range the guys first. Drags will be around, but look for the Vandals. Those are going to be the guys trying to pick you off from range. We've got a Barrier Servitor out in the middle. You can't do as much for a little while, but take out what you can. Find your Shanks. Find your Straggler Vandals. And your eventual goal will be to try and get an angle on Mr. Barrier Servitor in the middle. Now, you may not always get a good angle on him. It depends on when he chooses to pop his shield right about now. If you can stun him and you think you've got enough cover to try and finish it off, go for it. If I got to come back here, watch the Vandal over there on the middle section. He may pop his shield, or I may kill him first. Biggest thing, just be aware of the Vandals. Try and clear some of them out so you're not getting sniped by like 7 different angles. Once the Servitor goes down, you will have more ads coming out, so just be aware. You're going to have some more Drags. You're also going to have some more Vandals popping around. But yeah, Scout Rifle in this one just works. The guys in the back, the Vandals you got to deal with in the back. There's a lot of things just at range in here, including that Barrier guy, and just enough enemies that might be shielded by it. It's just going to make life easier to go Scout. So that's just my one piece of advice for the good chunk of this. Again, the Vandals in the back, hence why arc resistance is not a total loss, but the boss being solar is the one who's going to kick your butt. All right, we got a couple stragglers. Now you can kill everything in here. If I can find our dude here. There we go. Now, the last thing you've got is the captain. This guy is kind of a joke, but you may as well reload your heavy weapon right now. Hitting this switch will open the door back here, and as I said, you could slowly, theoretically work through his shield, but if you just break his shield normally, you're probably going to be able to kill him pretty fast. Not even worth much effort, honestly. So, reload what you got. Here, blow up all the little slow balls there. Reload the slowest reloading hand cannon ever. In this section, if you just run by everything, and if you got a grenade, you might be able to get a good chunk of this. Any type of explosive weapon, turn around, throw the grenade, see how much dies. Most of it will. If anything's alive, that's fine. Just pick up your ammo and we'll get to the final room. Final room's got 3 faces to it. You're going to have these couple guys, and then you'll have a champion on each side, and then also one in the back. These guys are just like gladiator demo fun. Overload champion is going to be first out of that left door. So use this little hump in the entrance as cover. You're going to find some exploder shanks. Try and take those out early. Also, obviously you can see you've got a vandal doing some work. Watch your radar. Biggest thing I can tell you. If anybody's trying to run up over this little midsection here, the radar is going to be the thing that tells you. Same thing, make sure your heavy is reloaded. Couple shots to stun, get the explosion. Go for the finish, make sure these are crits. Again, pretty much anything else is going to be better. And it's actually getting the job done, but just barely, I'll be completely honest. I don't trust the machine gun to really finish off a champion. Next one, we've got all the war beasts come across. Also it's a barrier colossus. It's the only Cabal thing in here. But as it's a barrier guy, just be careful. Now, if you can use this above, you can notice he can never actually quite hit me just because my verticality from him is what really helps. Between the damage I do, then when I stun him, and then the explosion, usually pretty good. First thing you want to go for in the back. Try and stagger this champion so you can try and get it to explode. Watch for the snipers. If you can get that thing to pop its shield and not die. Question is, can you also get this Vandal sniper taken out? Now that's the joys of a melee that's going to actually hit hard. Boss is on me like crazy. The boss sucks. He really does. Now, he got his health back, which is fine. The boss is who you got to watch for. You're going to be doing loops with him. All right, now I'm just trying to manage him. He's going to come up over the ramp, and you kind of got to do this just annoying circle of him chasing you. Now, this is where if you had something like a big, powerful weapon, you would definitely want to use it. Now's a good time to try and break the shield on the barrier server to get a little bit of cover if you can. And then if you can finish it. Oh, come on. There we go. All right, once the servitor is down, you're going to get more people coming up once you get the boss down to a certain amount of health. So if you can do damage to this guy, now would be a good time to use your super. Whether it's when that wall breaks or when you've got to do major damage to him, that's the important time. Because he just gets to be really painful because his solar shots will just ruin you. Now this works out because I had a little bit of a wall, just as defense. If you do about half health, notice he actually runs for a change. He finally will retreat, and you'll also notice you'll get ads coming out of the back. Look for the one sniper in the mix. Couple vandals out there. And have some ads coming your way. Couple wretch. If you got any shanks left, cool. You got to reload your heavy. You can see him back there basically in stealth mode. The camo that doesn't actually work. And now you can finish him off. So I can get a little more aggressive now. He's under half health. Just stay at range where his little shotgun's not going to hurt you, and he's not as bad. It's just for a machine gun, it's not an optimal loadout. Grenade launcher to put chunks of damage in. You know, rocket launcher is going to do a lot of work. Pretty straightforward run, though. Again, you got barrier for overload in the very opening, then barrier. Nothing here, but doesn't mean you won't get anything. But that is the empty tank on Legend. Let's get back outside. So yeah, that wraps up the empty tank. Pretty much what you need to do is use your solar heavy weapon, whatever you got, grenade launcher, pretty much anything's probably going to work. Xenophage is going to be great in here. Eyes of Tomorrow could probably delete a whole room. You know, you've got some options if you've got the exotics, but if not, you guys saw I could do it with a machine gun. Not optimal, but still doable. Just cover your barrier, your overload, and then as the burn is solar, take advantage of it. And if you got something to take care of that one arc shielded captain, or just nuke him with your heavy, probably going to get the job done. If you guys enjoyed this video, please drop a like below. If you got any loadouts that work for you, exotics, you know, for weapons, armor, anything like that, please throw those in the comments below for everybody else. If you guys want to find me on Twitter, it is at Ebontis, Ebontis, and then over on twitch.tv/Ebontis. Typically streaming Destiny every so often. When things are busy, it's usually almost always on Tuesdays, and then a variety of other things over there as well. And if you guys do want to support me on Patreon directly, just a nice way to do that, you guys can find me Patreon at Ebontis. So thank you guys, have a good one, and I'll see you soon.